Play the bass again, boy.
We have a different producer doing each one?
Yeah, we have about 9 producers. We have Marfan just handing. We have Marv and our whole crew just do the original, who did the stage mix. We have Rhythm Master from Antigua. We have Next Stanza, who is some ghost producers. They just do a dope one. We have Silver. Is that like 9? And we only choose like about 4.
And you planning all this. So when we home saying, nah, boy, this song is nice, and you don't know what coming next, you don't do it, carry me through a journey, you listen to all that?
Well, if people think of asking themselves why they're saying this song is not it, what is the it? Is it just a choice? They're just trying to choose a song? We don't choose songs just because we choose songs. We choose songs for what they can do and what they're supposed to do. It's supposed to take it to the ramp, carry on the threshold, make you nervous, make you build up, take you across the threshold, and make you burst with energy. When you burst with energy and reach on that stage, and you realize you're on the stage, it's supposed to go up again. I could calculate every road march why it failed. Like the majority of the Bunji Garland ones didn't have the second gear.
Yeah.
Some people leave you up there and leave you there. When you're on the stage, you can't leave them there. And we're fixing songs like that since Advantage, Soca Kingdom. I would take out the second verses that they had rewrite. I had to take out the second verse in Party, rewrite, just to show them that they didn't have to go up. You have to keep going up. And then you bring them to relax. And then you start them over. Remember, we're doing this for years, so we know you have to be a masquerader. Sometimes certain songs slip in the slipstream. I get lucky when we tired. Or when we have exhausted the public's support, when they just say, nah, too much.
Yeah. Well, listen, welcome to the Corie Sheppard Podcast. Welcome back to everybody who's been listening, and welcome to all the new listeners. I've never seen a studio so full. I've never seen so many people here. Usually it's just me and one person
in
recording. Yeah, it's just have people in the dark here. I feel the dark this week. Welcome to the show, Machel Montano. What's happening, sir?
Thank you.
Shake a good man.
Nice to be here. Good job. I've seen you all around. I've seen all my people on your show. Every episode I see a Machel Montano story. And I like that, because that is the true essence of life, is what people experience when they met you or when they were with you, and they leave that legacy. They say on your tombstone, you can say, here lies so and so, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did this. You can know about the person, but you'll never know the person.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I was worried at one point in time I used to put them clips and I say, boy, this man was, he feel like just trying to get your attention.
True,
I say I ain't like how this looking, but
no,
person after person, people just bring it up.
I understand that about my life, that, I have touched the length and the breadth of society. The 5-year-old to the 55-year-old to the 105-year-old.
Yeah.
The television presenter to the producer to the writer to the artist. So at some point, somebody must have crossed my path, or my path must have crossed theirs. And we have experiences, because for me, once I'm with you, I am fully engaged in you. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to give you what you want to hear from me 100%. I want to be present, and I want to be in abundance, flowing in abundance. That kind of communication is necessary. You need to pay attention when you're with people, what they might be looking for or what you are to receive from them.
Yeah, it shows with the way people talk about you, because without fail, everybody who talk about you, I could go through the list: Ajibola, Junior Lee, George Singh.
Yeah.
All of them just do the Machel voice. What is about your voice that everybody? Nobody can just say, well, Machel called me and say hello. Everybody's talking about that call they get from Machel.
Yeah. Who else here than doing that? Everybody talk about Michael Jackson. Hi, Teddy. How are you? And they always talk about the way he speaks. It's just a person's energy. If a person's energy is intense, it will be intense in the voice, it will be intense in the face, it will be intense in the song, it'll just be intense.
Yeah.
I am an intense human being. You know what I mean?
Well, before we start, as I usually give people the option, I say, boy, do you have anything off limits? I want you all to know that he said nothing is off limits. His life is an open book.
My life has been there from 7 years old for everybody to see. The few things that you might know will be coming out in my documentary that is about to drop.
I was so surprised to hear you say that too, because you're talking about some things that if I was you, I would not talk about it at all. I saw you in an interview talking about the Zen fight openly. I don't think I ever hear you talk about
that. For sure, because those were serious moments that if you don't really know the truth behind it, it will just be left to public perception. And, public perception of you is a tough thing to deal with because, you're already fighting from the back for what people think you are. And they don't really, really know you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they will, and most of the times it's projection. They're really projecting how they feel about themselves or what they feel they're going through in life onto you.
Yeah. Until you do the work on yourself, you might never know that.
For sure.
But with everything that you've achieved, you're comfortable. You have enough. How much road match you know is 11? You're up there with the
Lord
side with Lord Kitchener. Yeah. Who had 11 before you born? Yes, is 11 come? Yeah. Long time. And you see him perform and you came up under them and hit that. Money, I think you're good. I think you're good with all them things. Why are you still so open?
Why am I still so open?
Yeah, because if I was you, I'd take everything I had and run and hide from this public thing because it's a cruel place. How come you're still so open?
When you have everything, or when you have done everything, or seen everything, or have everything, you reach that point where you understand what life is about. Life is about doing what is needed. When you have everything and you look around, you'll do what is needed. Does the neighbor children need feeding? Do these youths need some attention? Am I needed over there? Because you see, everybody feel that I have a life and you have a life, and there's no your life, my life. There is life. Life is existing as one thing, and we are all a tiny part of it. What is privilege is that we get to have a unique experience. I will never know how you feel. I can't be your doctor and come here and say, I know you're hurting, but I'll ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your pain? Because I can't feel what you feel. That is a unique thing. Nobody will feel the same. Mm-hmm. So, but we are one existing life. Right. So, it's like, I will know where I'm weak. I will know what is needed. I know what the nation need right now. I know what the young men who might be caught up in, the emotions and how they're handling life. I know what they need because I am part of them. Mm-hmm. Anything I see happening unconsciously, if somebody doing something unconscious, I look at it and I ask myself, what part of me is that? Yeah. From the time I say, what part of me is that? I remove me being above them. I put me right on the level with them. And I'll most likely notice that what they're doing, I do sometimes to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. And once you bring consciousness to unconsciousness, it's like bringing light to the dark. Once that light opens up, the darkness will dissipate. So it's just about, really caring. When you care, I am an empath. Mm. I am somebody who I care about Trinidad and Tobago. I would not want to see the culture dying and don't do nothing. I wouldn't want to see the racists fighting and don't do nothing. I wouldn't want to see the musicians going astray and don't do anything. I will be a living example, or I will go there and interact.
Yeah, so you're showing up for it as
this
part
is
of one thing.
Interaction. Yeah. I mean, it is not about me. If it was about me, I ain't Toko. Picking coconut, swimming in the sea, walking to the lighthouse every day, a nice wooden house, and, sweet Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm a little studio.
I connected up there too.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get rich or anything. I'm not trying to just keep winning titles. I'm trying to show up for people for what they need. They need inspiration. These youths, you know what I mean? I was inspired by David Rudder. You know it is to stand up as a child, 11 years old, on Children of the Front Line and watch David tell you this is the Holy Temple of Soca, and see Anne-Marie and all these people and them in front of him, looking up at him, and see him, going down in the rhythm, the way they was good, Song Revolution. We stand up on the stage, Chandelier, watching Ronnie McIntosh, Callian, Beaver. I can keep going on and on. We looking at these people and thinking, they're making magic because they're making us feel excited. Yeah. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, and we say projection, right? Me looking at your Instagram, I don't think, from me projecting onto I don't think it's look happier than when you're in Toko. That's a real thing. It's look real peaceful and happy.
Watch me. From the time I started to drive out there, I just feel like I go on an adventure. Me and my wife alone, and we in the car, we swear we go on holidays. Right in Trinidad, in our own house, in our own yard. I spent the whole of COVID in Toko, and I didn't wear no mask. I was on the beach. I was in lockdown for a second.
Yeah.
0 lockdown.
I saw you do an interview with Voicey and them on the Thursday night. That's the first time we really see it during the COVID too. At least you share a little bit with me there.
Well, they beg for that, and I tell them, you see, just like how you come and tell me, come and do this, and I say, I'm a person who don't like to talk much, because if I start to talk, people will feel I weird.
You did say that. Verbatim, you did say that.
I like to talk when I have something to say.
Right.
And most of the times I'm so busy building something, it's really, I should talk after it happened.
Yeah, got you.
You know
got
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you said. You said you were on an inward journey. You said you was facing inward. You said when I'm ready to come back out again, you'll come back. But you know, it's how people go watch this and say you only come back because you're pushing a road march.
Well, that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know why people feel like I want to hide this or why they feel me going for a road march is something so wrong. I am at 11 and I could go to 12. I don't really want to outdo Lord Kitchener, but I think the universe is there for that to happen. You think Carl Lewis thought about Usain Bolt? He didn't think that it would happen. But here comes Usain. Do you think there will be nobody after Usain Bolt who will outdo that? There will be something. If you understand life, it is eternal, it is infinite, but most importantly, it is exponential. It is an asymptote. It means it keep going. This is the axis. It will never touch. It will never reach the end. There is no conclusion. Is life everlasting? All they want to hear it from the Bible, all they want to hear it from just observation. There is no death. When the plants die, they make life in the ground and more life comes up. It's just on and again and again and again and again and again, like an encore. Come on, I am here to talk the things. I have no shyness. I accustomed getting beat. People beat me already. It feel bad. When I was just driving up here and listening to the radio and they playing all the road marches. When you see I win 2011, 2012, here comes Super Blue, who come out of nowhere with one of the craziest songs and had the place shaking like this. And we have a good song, but we can't beat him. But we fight. I risk my life. I put on a ring around my waist and fly over the National Stadium with a 30-second rehearsal before the show.
I'm glad you know you risk your life.
Of course. I was ready to die. And why was I ready to die? To try to beat Super. We tie. Right? Okay, I didn't get our road march that year. Then I went back 2014, 15, 16. By the time we reached 16, we won. We did have a good song. So Full Extreme. Run through in 17. Went to India, sit down in front of the beach. Che hooked me up with his arm. Where I call this woman his mentor. She's a spiritual Baptist, but yet she's a new wave meditation. She put me through a program. I in her house on the beach. If I walk out on her beach, I could walk 2 hours this way or 2 hours that way and nobody out there. In India. A dolphin swimming in front of me. I in a house by myself every night with the windows and doors open. They in the back coming to check on me. It's like if I on the morning ground. And she asked me some questions. What is sacred to you? It took me 3 days to find the answer before she could come back and I could tell her. And I was a little bit ashamed because I thought, I started to search what is really sacred to me. She showed me my sacrum. And the only answer I could come up with after 3 days is my work. And I was like shame because it wasn't my mother, it wasn't my children, it wasn't my family. And I asked myself, why? And when we go through why, and I said, why? Because that is how I take care of them. That is how I am able to take care of more than my family. My family, everybody on the outside. That's how I'm able to keep this whole room of people bubbling. And I didn't feel shame about it. I know my work was my first thing. I mightn't be the best father. I'm not always there. But when my children come around me, we like brother and sister, they could feel that the work matters. They could feel that they are brothers and sisters to everybody else who I have to deal with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, with you. So, it's something I see when you bring up Carl Lewis, right? I always look at it like this. And my thought when I hear people say that is, if I make a product, how you go vex with me if I push my product? It's a very weird concept. And I don't know how you deal with it, but I remember where I was when Lara made 375.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was playing cricket. And I used to hear this 365 thing and I hear Sobers that man make a run for every day in a year. And when Lara passed it, I love Lara more, but it didn't make me love Sobers less.
Exactly.
You understand? So it's a strange thing.
Sobers is already there. But look at it this way. Do you remember sitting there and watching Usain Bolt about to do it?
Yeah.
Do you remember sitting there and watching Lara about to do it? Were you not rooting for it to be done?
100%. I was in Jamaica when Bolt break the record. So I feel that energy.
So how come I, at this level, somebody who has given people 11 moments like this, ready to do this, and everybody think I should stop? The majority of people think I should stop.
But why you feel that is?
It had to be something unique. I think it had to be something unique that, they make you work hard for it. To every force, there's an equal and opposite force. If you're jumping real high, they will try to pull that down.
Yeah.
And then again, I think it's just something with me. I win in too much.
Yeah,
Things
like
going too good. Things too nice. But this have nothing to do about me. Let's remove me and let me look at this song. And what this song is saying. You're only as good as your last performance. Backstage is where legends are born. So we don't talk about these stars. We don't talk about the top people. We talk about everybody who is asked to perform their best, especially those who we don't see, what they're doing behind the scenes. They're giving them a chance to understand, man. Give them that performance. Go till you fall on the tape. You're falling on the tape on your face, white man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Your skin grate up. Just go.
Yeah.
And then when you think that, if you think this was life before, dress yourself done. I always tell my team, right? I about to go to the next Machel Montano, the next 20 years version.
Right.
And I told them that I am going to, create the Machel that I was always dreaming of, never had a chance to, the things that I hear in my head. So I say everything before was address yourself. Well, you could take all the road march, crumple it up and throw it away. All these songs and albums, crumple it up and throw it away. All them trophies in the room, melt that and give it away. It does not matter.
But that's something I always wonder about our industry. I find it's a brutal thing for artists where that does not matter because it matters. You look at the catalog you have and what you've done for all of us. How come you and all, as the person who at the helm of this thing, had to reset every year and come again, which Encore kind of encapsulates
you're
perfectly.
Only as good as your last performance.
So you accept that?
They wouldn't care if I wasn't winning, they wouldn't care. If I wasn't going hard, they wouldn't care. And sometimes when you're winning, they care about that too because that's a problem.
Yeah.
So at least there is care.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing.
Because if they didn't care, then it's a bigger problem. So just really, this is not about what people think at all. This is about your potential, what you could do. And even when they think I down and out, I in the waking hours of the night figuring out how to do it, how to do it better.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy in that space.
But I'm glad to hear that you're happy in this space because sometimes the comments get brutal. The comments and the memes and all them kind of things.
For sure. But you see, you have to laugh about it because I went through, and that will be in the documentary. I wouldn't talk about that here, but I went through the worst experience when it comes to that. I had people in my car calling me certain words and certain things that they believe strongly that I am. And I am not. And there's only me and God can know that. And yet it gets them so mad. Like watch them, they're so mad they like almost want to rip my head off for being something that I am not.
Right.
So I asked myself, well, what is that? Where does that come from? And I just understand that it happens in life. That is how we are sometimes.
Yeah. Now, as somebody with your ears, you know what you're looking for. You said before we start that everything is very deliberate, very focused.
Yeah, man.
I saw Mevon and Jeffers say, this is the first time they send you a song on Kyle. And you say, fellas, I see it on Instagram, so they all do all this stuff. They say, first time you really change nothing, you accept this song the way it is. What make Encore so special when you hear it the first time?
The perfection. It is perfection. Two people tell me, Hoppy tell me, Colonel come and say, boy, I think this song just too perfect for people. It's just too perfect. And I mean, I don't feel it's perfect. There are some things that I feel could have been done better. The song High. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could sing that High. Jefferson's be writing up in the falsetto. I just listening to stage going by with Iowa. Oh, that's the stage. Oh, that's the image. It's so high.
Shit,
but yet it works because sometimes it's about energy. So when they sent it and I listened to it, by the time I hear you're only as good as your last performance, I wanted to cry because it resonated with my life. That people would not like you if you're not winning. No matter what I did last year, I was telling a story about one of the most embarrassing moments or lowest moments in my life was in 2020 when I had Kong Shell. And that was the backup song. The year before I had Bunji and I had Skinny with Men. They was riding everywhere. We going everywhere because we going on to the tape. We want to win. I come and I pull Skinny and Iowa even tell us he had a next song with guests. He make me feel he had nothing. But he come to do that to cover the bases.
Go in.
To then never show up. to never sabotage where you're good. Sabo, he never showed up, but he was there with stage with guests every night, and
right.
And it was me and Skinny was trying, and then Skinny lights started dim. When he realized it looking dim, boy. And I don't ever stop him. I feel like it could turn around today. CC Winans say that, it could happen today. Believe me, what she say, boy, all right. Believe in a change could come today, even tonight. He's gonna answer every little prayer. Just hold on, wait and see. It's gonna be all right. I just hear that. That was one of these songs, one of the albums when I was in my greatest depression in my apartment, crying during Carnival seasons, darkness, nobody around me, I alone. In my jockey shorts. I had to cry with snot in my hand, listen CC Winans just to get that strength to come back, to go out and face the next day. So I was saying, when that light started dim, Skinny started to disappear. It's me alone. And I just decided one more push. But I don't know why I feel I still have a chance.
Make a push, yeah.
And I tried to go on stage, Tribe, going through the savannah in the night.
Right.
And I went up on that stage to sing that song, boy. Boy, and then people boo me off that truck, boy. 2020, and I just win in 2018 and 2019. I was just the
flying
king.
High, yeah.
They boo me off the truck. They say, come off. And the DJ, Kevin Krong, is the only man come and stand up next to me and start to sing the song like he's Skinny or like he's Iowa. Yeah. And it's the only thing make me jump off that truck and break my head. So it was such a low feeling.
I remember seeing you make it a point to tell Kevin Krong that when you were in New York backstage.
For sure. And the most important thing is, at that moment, I shouldn't be getting on so. I should just know sometimes other people have to win too. Sometimes you have to get licks, not you all the time, and I know that. That's why I could lose real comfortable.
Oh, so you're cool with it now?
Yeah, of course.
But you're going.
But I have to go, especially if I know this song is the song that people want to cross the road and jump to. Yes, I have to measure the mood of the people.
Right.
When they wanted a bimble play with the bam bam.
Yes.
When they wanted a Bahia girl, we didn't expect that. But it was so sweet to chip. I see them saying, yeah, groovers could win. But if you look at the groovy songs that won, Shadow,
yeah, those are
Like a Boss,
special.
Those songs turned into power groovies.
Yeah, you turn Like a Boss into a power. I never really
Straight power.
Until Full Blown was here. I never really pay attention to the fact that they recorded more on the groovy side,
It's 125 BPM.
Yeah, I remember the first time I see you going on stage to perform that.
Today,
so I didn't know you had them.
Today we doing Like I Was at 166 BPM.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Board.
But I see Beanie Man do that live. As well. Beanie Man, I saw when he started comedy rough cut band, he's doing all his songs sped up. That is not even that style where people speed up songs on the internet. Sped up version.
Yeah. No, you talk about Bahia Girl, right? You were in one of the most iconic Calypso Monarchs. I feel like I don't know if people remember.
Yeah.
In 1986, when you were in Bahia Girl and Hammer, you there.
I was right there.
11, common entrance.
Clear as daylight.
Yeah.
I remember it clear as daylight.
What's your feeling going into that year and all that competition? You comfortable?
Excited, cool. You see, I am not really one who wanted to ever be a superstar. I was pushed, you know what I mean? And if you watch the documentary, this is a funny part in the documentary.
Yeah, I know that they don't know.
I just keep saying okay, and they just pushing me and I bawling, okay, I just want to be a good child. I want
That's
to
not
serve.
what I hear your mother say, When I hear your mother say, the first time she frightened when Machel go and do interview, I surprised she didn't come today. She said, frightened. And Machel said, don't worry. I good. I comfortable. I go talk. Yeah. That sounds like somebody who always want to be a star, no?
Not necessarily. I just was very much into what I have to say. I want to be a lawyer. That's the lawyer in me. I can't lose an argument because I come in truthful and factual and I carrying it down to the end and I hold it responsible. So I know what I have to say. Sometimes I listen to interviews of myself. WBLS talking about bringing countries together, bringing people together in unity with true music. And I am doing that right now. And I don't know who is that kid saying that or why is that in his head. It had to mean it come there from some other time or from somewhere before. That was the purpose of that.
Yeah.
Being. So I don't know who it is. I don't know what that person said. My mother didn't teach me to say it.
Yeah.
It was just what I thought I wanted to do. And here I am doing it still to this day. Singing in the chutney soca monarch. My song is called Dancing in the Streets. I have an Indian guy playing, Pan-African guy playing tassa. I have the dancers coming together and we mixing it together like lava.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
As a Mila
together.
Private Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, going in with that song too.
So last year, you was paying attention to the memes. I said the only thing the man went is the chutney soca and he went in
Miss
because
Universe. They said the only thing
So we
I
can
win is
expect
Miss
that,
Universe. Well, you see, expect that if that is needed.
Yeah, all right.
If it is necessary for me to win a Miss Universe to save the world, I will do what it takes.
Save this for when you reach, right?
But I just been extreme because I'm just trying to say, life is like a box of chocolates. Right? You hear Forrest Gump say that. Understand something. If you could keep choosing what you want in life, it have to be related to the past. It is a derivative of the past. It could only be a choice of something that you already know. But life is so great. It might give you something you never thought of or dream of, and that will be surprise. That happened to me in 2024 within the Calypso Monarch. I had no clue that would happen in my life.
Right.
I wanted it to happen. I wish about it. I was like, if you go back to that Too Young to Soca, that moment, I thought I was going to win. I wasn't even seeing David.
Seems so.
And I hear I had come to there, but I hear by the time the judges form reach, two other men fly in front of me, Chalk Dust and Duke. And
people mightn't remember it was Duke Scrunter, Chalk Dust, David Rudder, Stalin is the heavyweights in that competition. He beat a few people too.
I think it was David first.
David first, Stalin second. I can't remember who come to it, but I know he beat Scrunter, he beat Duke.
I came fifth.
Right.
I came fifth.
Yeah, so there's a bit so many men coming now.
Yeah. Until I was third. I hear so.
Yeah.
I hear the formless change when it reaches. But at the end of the day, my thing had a mishap. Am I putting on these shiny tights to protect in case the diaper fall long? Yeah. And my boom boom. Or we going no tights.
Yeah.
You know them girls just play man. Some have no tights, some have tights. Well, boy, them put one of them bronze tights on me to protect and pin the pants. But that bronze tights make the pants slip down. Everybody say, boy, Machel, you shake somebody hand in the back. Beer. All kind of thing. But we calculate it was a mistake by putting on that tights because the pamper keep falling off. I couldn't concentrate. But you will see me, if you watch it, I pulling it up and trying to go now.
But it looked like it's part of the act.
It looked like part of the act. And at the end of the day, it is what it is,
But people might remember, like people talk about fight on today, but I saw articles from back then where Kitchener was saying that they shouldn't let this little boy enter the competition because any little boy now, any parent go find their child, they go buy a song and then they go mash up Calypso.
Well, I had that article on feature on the big screen in my performance for Soul of Calypso. That was the point. The Too Young to Soca was written because I was in the tent from 1984. From the time I sing the letter in the Savannah's Junior Calypso Monarch, people didn't like me because here's this little boy singing about school teachers reaching to school late and disrespecting the children when they blaming the children. We just falling all there. They did not like that at all. The Mr. Garcia, the head of tutor at that time.
Yeah.
He was like, I am not supporting this guy. I support Penguin, who was singing at Deputy Essential. But he didn't support this little boy talking about the example that teachers setting.
Yeah, where's the how to? Because even the way they bring that song.
So I brought the article. Kitchener was saying, do not let little children get songs written. My song was written by Winsford Devines. My parents went in, but we went with the idea because everybody was saying he's too young to be out here. He should be in school. And they were like, why? If he's doing his homework and he have the talent, why should we clamp down the children? And they were saying, do not bring children in the competition because everybody will send the child by Winsford or by, what's his name, Merchant, or by this one, and come a GB and come up with a big song. And we'll only have children in the thing, which I thought, well, if that does happen, then that's a good thing. That would have made the thing youthful and younger and make it more vibrant.
You thinking like that as early as then?
For sure. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we were seeing our life as a prosperous thing and going forward. So why would we stop? Every time you're seeing something to happen great, somebody wanted to stop. Is it that they don't want greatness? You know what I'm saying? So Kitchener and all them was against it. There were many articles. Angela Piddock, this one now. I have all the articles. I have them still to this day. And I read them from time to time. I had to read all of them in the year 2000. I read over everything to understand who I was and what I went through. So at this point now, Kitchener don't talk to me. But I live to see Kitchener come back to approve and to ask me to come and sing in his tent and to lead his tent. And I used to stand up every night right next to him. him and Pink Panther, they stand up there and they talk, and I want to talk to him, and he never say a word to me. Not a word. He just always smile and watch me, and I already know he's sorry, he didn't see it, he understand it, and here I am today.
Yeah.
Closing his tent every night, giving him the action, and he just nod and look at me in a way that I don't need words. I feel in the love. I feel in the acceptance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, might be talking to you through Colonel. No, I'm saying to understand. You and Colonel do all, you know.
Our relationship is deep. Me and Colonel, our relationship. What he did for my life is what Kitchener made him for. To give me life. To give me that support. To give me fellas my age who could write, who could understand the magic of what we want to do to people, to art.
Yeah.
You know?
So at that point in time, and we talking about albums today, you talking about that time where you're fully committed to music by 11. At that point in time, you know that's what you want to do for your rest of your life?
No.
Or the lawyer thing still on the table?
Loyalty was still on the table.
Yeah, because Alvin Daniel told me about 19 different passes and one set of subject, all the hard subjects. And
Nine.
All right, close.
And trust me, I am not that studious. I crammed very hard. In Form 4, I realized I didn't know any of the work. Thank God I had a mother who is a teacher and her father was a teacher, and she just said, all right, let me get the syllabus, let me get the past papers, and let me start to make posters and thing on the is me. I don't know why that. I don't know. I could have swear you could cuss me. Anyway, we're gonna list one ping, love, a sleepy. But seriously, you know, I just had my mother she went all in and she's like, let's do it. And we was just like very clinical about it. This is 1.1, 1.2. This is the textbooks that had the 1.1, 1.2. And we just cram. And I get the passes, and I always tell people, going to school is to learn how to learn. You're not really going to school to get passes to be at this or to be. Learn anything. So that learning process helped me to understand music. But when I was in A-levels, I was in A-levels in the class with Brian Manning, you know, and all these guys, and we couldn't take physics, boy. And we had a physics teacher who was so nice. Yeah. He come in, he said, gentlemen, if all they don't want to be here, or they could leave, eh? You just had to hear grand cheers, just sort of push out. We walk on the class, we never went back. And that was term 1, September. By the time,
Brian Manning too, he leave too?
Yeah, all the way went outside. By the time, I asked Brian and them, because we couldn't take the physics, boy. We wanted to do other things. But by the time I reached that end, I realized I didn't know anything on the test. I was shocked. I tell my parents immediately. I started to look for a music school to go to. I wanted to drop out. Okay. My mother cried. When I say cry, drop out of school is not something in her understanding. My father gave me the best advice. He said, listen, if you come out of school and you don't get a job in that system, understand this. You're not clocking your car at 9 and clocking out at 5 or at 8 and 4. You will determine your own hours. You will determine how you get paid. You will determine what is the depth and the breadth and the length of your career. And I thought, yeah, man, I'm ready. And little did I know, I had to have a nervous breakdown when I was about 17. Yeah. You know, to understand that working hard, too hard is not going to bring the results. You have to work smart. You have to know when to rest. You have to know when to be with family. You have to also know when to apply your hours. So I thought I went hard and burn out. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, as a young age to do that to 17.
That was the year 1996, Take a Borough. I burned out. I was in the house almost near to death. People come, they start spreading rumors about me being sick. That went all around the world. And I used to be getting up in the night and walking into the jungle by myself in my jockey shorts again.
Yeah, the jockey shorts are common thing.
And my father had to come for me and, what going on with you? I was hearing voices, hearing people hated me, calling me all kind of thing. And as a young man, you know, I was interfering with a little weed every now and then because I see my friends. And I started opening the Bible and it just wasn't adding up. I wasn't understanding why am I not liked? Yeah. What am I doing to be not liked? And I thought I was doing the best. And I just realized people really out here to not like you.
Yeah, I guess you can't control that.
You can't control it. It's just normal. Yeah. So I was a little weird. And through that path, I found the answer.
Just in healing from that, you mean?
Well, it was a few magical moments. You know, I was great. My mother came over me and she said, Machel, she couldn't take it. My father would get so mad. He was like, well, the way you getting on, like, it's true. It's true. And he just woke up, he vexed. But my mother came in and she said, Machel, you know what, boy? I want to tell you, he was born dead. He was born stillborn. God have to have a purpose for your son. And that is the first time I ever really hear talk about that. I knew about it, but I never hear talk about it. And I directly connect. And it's like if gray clouds just open and I see sunlight. And then I used to go down on the beach and forgive me, but curse God at the highest level. Why? Why are you doing this to me? What I do? And he come and he say, if you and I alone know the answer, and people talking about things they don't know, are trying to push you up above the mist, are trying to rise you above the fog, above what people might say, that's not important. What you know and I know, let's function with that.
Right.
And with that, there was nothing could be said about me ever since 1996. Nothing anybody could say about me will ever touch me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I understood what the purpose of that was. It was for you to rise. And I went in, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't have sex, I didn't have girlfriends, I didn't go out for 9 months straight. And what was born out of that 9 months was Big Truck, Pretty Girl, Music Fam, Crowded, Wayne Rodriguez, Calypso Nice. I produced all those songs, wrote all those songs, play instruments on all those songs, and made the Big Truck Heavy Duty album, which was the turning point for our life.
Yeah. My wife said to make sure to tell you Big Truck is her favorite song, right? We had to do it. So Zachary, we covered that, right?
Yeah.
That's covered. But there was a video that I saw with you and several soca artists and calypsonians. It looked like all was registering for a competition. And you was talking about that period in your life. Because I think the rhetoric, as always, is there's a boogeyman in our culture. There was
the video that they keep bringing back with Dennis Belfort.
It's always come back.
Soca Monarch.
And he was making it was Soca Monarch registration.
Yes.
And you're making us a point to tell them, like, you invest everything in it. You see records pile up home by you.
For sure.
Yeah. So 96 is when you're starting to just relieve yourself of that personally. In terms of that burden.
And there's a lot of other things was happening too. In remember, I start off with the big guns. I had Less Than Paul in 1984. 86 was Less Than Paul. 87 I worked with Pelham Goddard, and 88 Davey Rudder was writing for me. 89 I was with Frankie McIntosh and Straker, and then I was with the top producers in the music game, and it wasn't working. In 91, while I was doing CXC, and me and Manning used to come home and study by me, and mother used to tutor them, and I had friends. I decided, man, let me try to program my own song, and I produced and programmed Take Me Back Africa, using a log drum. Now everybody using log drum. I programmed that log drum. I put monkeys in there, the horns with exact. And I won my Young Kings. And I thought that the music was changing. But then I went back in 91, 92, 93, working with Kenny Phillips, who's Casey and Kyle's father. And Kenny had a little steam, but he was still one of the old boys in my eyes. Because different things were starting to happen. We started to hear Kiskidee Caravan. It was on the bridge. Just some things was happening. I thought our song was sounding old.
Right.
And I tell Kenny I was going to give up in 93, and he said, oh God, give me one chance. And he came up with Go Down Low, Mama Ding Ding. That saved my life.
By all means.
By the time 94, I was in left, right, back, push. The light was dimming again, songing old. By the time 96 would take a borrow, it was songing old, but I was heading for a crash anyways. And I just decided when I pull out, withdraw, and was home going through depression, and the doctor called it chronic asthenia, where I have no more energy in here, all the juices suck out. He said I had to just sleep and rest. And when that happened, I had enough clarity to know that I could do my own thing, because we sung in old. And Shell Shock was there working with Kiskidee Caravan in 96. And Alison Hines was banging with Ragamuffin. And Crossfire had pumped me up. And it was this man named Nicholas Branca, who I saw in 95 and 96 and thing, working with Kenny Phillips, learning how to make soca. And yet now here he was ruling his soca game with this fresh sound. And I find we singing like old people. I get mad. I was pissed.
Even that period, we fit into them thing, you know.
Pissed.
we calling some song that we have in that time.
I was pissed. And I just went in 97. I said, fellas, I not taking this. If they that good, we could be that good too. And I called Vincent Rivers, Joey Rivers, all the members of my band, and I said to them, remember I also got signed to Atlantic Records, not Atlantic, to Delicious Vinyl in 95 with Come Dig It. And I got some money. I bought a studio. It didn't work out. I came back, but I kept the studio in New York. I said, let us go in New York in the studio and make the greatest music we ever make. And they said, boy, Vincent said, I had to rent a mine. I can't go through that kick drum, dup, 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 snare, kak, kak, kak. Nah, I had to check it. I said, well, just give me 6 months. And they came, we moved into 2 apartments in New York on Flatbush, Utica. My mother and them upstairs, the studio downstairs. And we just worked. Samuel Jack, Farmer Nappy wrote, came with the idea, Music Farm. I had Winer Boy with Kitchener. Tung, 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 tung. Give me anything with the doctor, the sample. I started sampling songs. Pretty Girl was for my papa son. Girls, everywhere I go. Dung, dung, ding, dung, dung, ding. I play all them instruments. Big Truck, I wanted to win a road march. I was like, I have to win a road march. I have to be the biggest thing. There's the only way I could, what is the biggest thing I could write about? Being the truck. And I started programming the beat with horn going pop and air brakes. And then Shell Shock was there, freshly left Amar, had nowhere to go. I said, come and live by me. And come and give me what you give them. And he did the drums for Big Truck. And then we just started work. And it came out to be that we didn't have to go back. It was the biggest thing. And we had, next year was 98 when I did produce and write Footsteps with Farmer, Give It to Wayne Rodriguez. And 99, we were almost there with Beanie Man and VP, and we crashed again.
But going back to that 96, it's interesting to hear you all were deliberately working on changing the song, because that Big Truck and all the songs that come out around it, everything changed. Keep in mind, as a teenager then, we sneaking out, we also go and see all the fellas. And it was the point at which we realized the jump and wave, they had a jump and wave hero, and the Bajan Invasion thing with a smooth kind of what we call them groovy now. But that music on that initially is just so fresh to youths. So you deliberately looking at the young audience and trying to create something that's different from the era you come from.
Well, yes, that too, but you're looking at people like Dan It Up, dan, 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 and it's so swanky. And Shell Shock mixing this soca with hip-hop beats. You're looking like jump start it, kick start it, start, back, rolling, everything they touch. Kindred, it was so youthful and stylish, and you asking yourself, why am I not there? But they will listen to hip-hop and dancehall and trying to make soca interpretations of it. And they had Shell Shock Benjamin, one of the greatest to ever live. He should be given an award. His family should be taken care of. He shifted something for us. If he could have only last longer. And I was present to see his last breath in life. He was with me. Shell Shock is the one who brought Ableton to me when I told him I needed something to perform live on stage that could put the background vocals and the samples and change. And I sell him out into the world and he find it. Today, that is a staple in everybody system. So he's such a great person. But then again, it wasn't the fact that just that we want to change the music. We wanted to change our experience. I wasn't feeling comfortable singing like a old man. And I tell Kenny that. And
he said so when he was here.
Yes, I had to tell him that. Kenny's my best friend, one of my best friends. Imagine I have road marches with his sons. I had to switch away from him because he was really, he don't care. He just want to be in the basement with his wife and his children and make music. Kenny is one of the weirdest aliens you'll find. But I'm a friend because I am one of those two, and his sons are like that also. And daughter. They all singing Caris's vocals on Party that make Party the hit. We work so hard. You understand? She's the one doing some work behind there real quiet. Kyle is the man who Kyle waiting on the stage, which needed that break. I had to get Casey. I begged Casey to help him for 2 years, for a year. We only mark that song. And when Casey really decided to find the bram, 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 that's what make the song. That bram, 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 bram is what you're hearing in Soca Kingdom. Bram, 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 bram is what you're hearing in Paris Couture. Bram, 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 bram is what you're hearing in most of those songs, because Come Home, all these songs that you hear with Soca that build up, Hard Fed, everything is patterned after Waiting on the Stage. And even this year, you could hear Waiting on the Stage in a certain song.
All right,
stage.
Yeah.
They patterning after those changes that we made. But I'm saying, the point I was making is that when you want to change yourself, when you're so desperate enough, When you get really fed up of feeling, you're going to either sink or float. Swim or sink.
Yeah.
And that was it for me. I couldn't take everybody's song in Youthful, all the Kiskidee Caravan, everything going on, Alice Nine's Vision and Vision. It was too much for me. So I went in to my deepest core and relied on me and my boys around me.
Yeah.
And everybody showed up. Farmer showed up, Samuel Jack showed up, Vincent, who put the bass line for Big Truck. I didn't make up that. He make up that. You know, Michelle Shuck show up. Shadow, the mighty Shadow show up and write what they say. I was also writing a very big song with David Rudder that year, but it didn't come out. And if I only talk about that one, boy, that one is a big one. I ain't ready to talk about that one yet.
But it's something you might still do?
Well, it's something that live in.
Okay.
Without me.
Okay, all right.
But really with me.
All right.
You know, and I'll talk about that when I
all right, cool.
Me and David and the cinema.
Yeah, that's why we're going to record it. Interesting you bring up Party, right? Let me go back to last year. Initially, I remember when I hear Party the first time, I find, you know, some of these things people saying with Encore now, they're saying, there's nothing. When you hear that, you hear it with Party initially.
It was the same thing they said Party.
Right, good.
Well, there is a meme. There is a meme going on with boy Machel singing shit, boy. Who good? This kind of going on, my boy. Who good?
Yeah.
Why it is every time Machel bring out a song, the first thing is it must be shit. Like, so I don't know why I do it.
I fall for that too, you know. Let me tell you what happened to me a year. I was in UE, and that was the first year. I can't remember where it was in St. Augustine they performed. And you had Jumbie. And I was in the audience, and you say, well, they're trying. So I think you know you had, not that up there, I know you done plan for you already.
Yeah.
But I remember you going to the Jumbie and sing, and a song in our house and sing, and then all in the middle of it, you say, we have a dance. Out of body, back to yourself. I said, nah, Machel. Let me go again. Let me hear what I will have. Let me hear what somebody else have. I was in that audience. And you say, well, you cool it, relax. And you stay with it, you perform it. I leave there thinking, that can't be it. You come
what you
else.
thought about the outer body, back to yourself, that wasn't good?
I just find it was weird.
The gimmick.
The dance.
But okay then, but this is not about a dance.
Right.
This is about actually the absolute truth of life. Do you know that playing mass is based on the premise of coming out of your body and going back to yourself?
Yeah.
When you put on that mask, you no longer become this human. You become a part of a multiverse of humans. A minshell. When you put on a rat head in rat race, you are no longer Corie Sheppard. You are one of the rats coming down the road in a unity that if you go up in the sky or you go up in the savannah and watch down, you will believe this is such a beautiful thing, not knowing it's 100,000 players.
Yeah.
It is one moving thing. So when we put on a mask, which is what was the philosophy behind mask in ancient Kemet, in Egypt, they wanted to thank the gods for making the Nile overflow and giving them food and you know, making the land fertile. So they will come out in the streets, put on these masks and commune with the gods and clap and bang cymbals and hit iron and dance and thing to be with the gods. That is what we're doing. When you put on your costume, you want to be part of the band. The only problem we have today is that when people put on their costume, it's really about how they looking on Instagram. There is no more Machel where we part of something, where we could fall into a river or tic-tac-toe down the river. It is no more humanity, no more concepts. Everybody just have these fake concepts of goddess of the Nile. And
it's hard to connect the two.
There is no meaning. The meaning is what looking sexy, what having a nice backpack, what could go good on pictures, and we're losing that. Once we start to lose that, we're going on a slippery slope. Because the depth of
that is the Carnival. The
individualism. Carnival is not individualism. It's the actual opposite.
Yeah, with you. I on that meme too, because I see that in St. Augustine, and then Carnival week, I was in the Oval, where you was performing all your wrestler song, and nobody in moving, and you say, all you always sing Jumbie whole night out. The whole crowd say,
yeah. So because it's a Jumbie.
Yeah.
So you have to give these songs time. But you know, people send me a lot of songs, and I just want me to answer them within the next 5 minutes. You like it or?
Yeah, anxious.
And I have to wait with that song and drive around in my car and walk around Savannah for 3-4 days before I answer them. And they know that about me now. You know, and it's like when Jefferson sent Encore and I listened and my pause started raising the last performance. Front pages where legends belong, backstage is where legends are born. I was like, whoa. And it started well up inside of me. When I reached the chorus, I didn't find the chorus was big enough. It's just saying, get them performance. I hear that already. You know, but then I started really take it in, boy. And then I said to them, I said, fellas, that dress rehearsal done, the real thing start, and you're seeing it over and over. That had to change. And I tell them all kind of thing had to change because I had answered them maybe 3 days after. But then in 6 days, it's so keen to me. And I realized what happened in here. The music, the intelligence of the beat. I realized, no, this could definitely take flight. And I call them back and say, fellas, I ain't changing nothing.
Keep it up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And they were shocked. Because they know over the years of us trying, I keep changing things. Come home was mine. I had Come Home first. I still have it in my phone. I can play for you right now. And they wanted me and Destra. And there's this Yankee singing, a Yankee boy singing. I say, Ole, we're not singing no Yankee. We're not singing no Yankee. You know, we had changed that. But yet, I was in school in UTT, so I really I would have never done what Skinny and Nyla did with that song. It had to be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can count all the ones that was mine, you know.
Yeah.
If I tell you which one was mine this year, you cry, you know. No, the two that was mine. Roadman beat was mine. I work on that beat. There is footage in Anguilla. If you go back on Instagram, you'll see me and Mevon working in Anguilla. That was one of the beats that I work on with him.
And you didn't want it?
No, I didn't want it. I told him it was the weakest one out of the batch.
You still believe this?
Well, out of the batch that we had said.
Right, yeah.
I didn't even know what the other two was right now.
Okay,
we packed them up and we holding them. But he gave it away. And he gave it to Galen. I would have never been able to do what Galen do with that song. Never. And why is everything must be mine? No, it have to share on. Whereas we don't have a race.
Yeah, we like the race.
You understand? And people like the race. They like the cockfight.
For sure. Yeah, as a fan, I like it because I'm going back to Soca last year with Party. Because when I hear Party the first time, the chord structure was familiar. You know, that pop chord structure. And I say, all right. I hear people saying, there's no the thing, there's no Machel, there's no whatever it might be. And I thinking, I'm not sure if this go lost because it's already so familiar to you and the message that deserve it. And I didn't understand it deserve it until Soca that year. Because me didn't really know what I was working on, but I feel like I deserve it when I hit that stage, that Soca that year. And from that moment, I knew something, it's special. And
Andrew Jeffers is a genius. He's a strategist. He has a job. He doesn't need to write soca music. Since 2012, after he see me winning Road March 2006, 2007, whatever, you see that? He's like, nah, so Machel no longer win, and he decided to choose to start to try to beat me. Right. He reached close with Savannah with Iowa. Right. I told him, you in the Savannah, we in the Kingdom. Yeah. Two different things, right? And it's the same thing I said when Kes come at Savannah grass. I just the grass in Savannah. We did it with the family and the whole world. Only reaching, only short. Yeah. Step it. We going all out. So then eventually in 2020 he beat me with Stage Gone Bad.
Yeah.
You know, and he always wanted to work with me because he wanted to work on his craft. Of course. So those things, when you heard those songs, it was that. And with Party, when I first heard Party, I hate the word party. I didn't like it. Party. When them Calypso saying party. I used to cringe. And I actually used to do interviews where I'm American. I want to say party, but I'm saying party because I'm American. And I used to get vexed with myself, right? So when this song came, I was like, man. But immediately upon hearing it, I know Road March so well. I become a masquerader. I know what is needed. I knew that was it. I know what a feeling is to be on a truck. I performed on top of the truck with Roy Cape for many years. I came down from the truck to be a masquerader. I love crossing a stage. I know what is needed. Yeah. So when I heard Party, I knew it had it, and it did not matter the word party anymore.
So with that rejection in Soca with Party, I was watching on Instagram this time with this year with Uncle. I was watching Experience. Right. And I see you run out with it.
Yeah.
I know you. I fed under you. And
Right.
so I see youths now who talk about Machel and saying, I don't know if they know Machel now, but in the heyday, because PSA and customs and them things used to shake. It was a different world.
Yeah, for sure.
So I always wonder how it's like for you as a performer when most of the reaction has come from the phones rather than what you're accustomed to seeing when you start
It
off.
is very saddening. It is very disappointing. It's confusing that, again, but I know what the experience is. If I, in a group of people, everybody with Machel, I want a picture. They want something for themselves, for their content, for their page, to make them feel good, to make other people, react it makes them feel good. It's endorphins. People feeding themselves by how much love they get from other people, how much attention they get from other people. In my meditation, I learned that you must be push start. You don't need to crank start. You don't need somebody to crank you up. You press button. You alone must make you feel good. But not everybody understand that. So they need something. And they up there with the phones we could have had one person tape this, give everybody it, and everybody could share it and say, I was there. But it's not the same. They just need to have it.
Yeah.
They don't use it every night. Sometimes it's shaky.
Yeah,
but we just doing it. That's what they call compulsive behavior. We're not really conscious about it because are we there to really enjoy the moment? If you're there to enjoy the moment, when people come out and they jumping and they waving and thing, that is when you're really having that time and you could go, man, you could hold that feeling with you for your whole life.
Yeah.
Just like how you felt when you first heard this or you first saw that.
Yeah, you remember where it was. Even Soca Kingdom, you bring up that, I remember.
Yeah.
Again, Soca Kingdom was, because, and that's something I've always seen throughout your career, you make it a point to work with a lot of the veterans. I see you with
for sure.
Lord Nelson, with Stalin, or even the Calypso Monarch, bringing up Krukro, and I think it was Rio
Krukro and Rio, yeah.
on the stage.
I grew up under all these people and I respect them. I try to say it sometimes to people, I am the daddy in this soca business, but I don't really get the respect at all. And it's because we kind of, like your mother, if I say, Liz, she say, well, me and you sit down on the same bench in school. It's like, it's like because I on the same bench with them still, and I function and my beard black and I looking nice and young, and I pumping. They might think I'm one of them, but I'm really somebody who's an elder who has done for them what, a parent has done, clear the path, put things there that they enjoy. And, you know what I'm saying? But so I respect my elders like that. Every one of them, I grew up under Scrunter, Shadow, Crazy, you name it. So for me to work with them, it's an honor. And it's respect always. I'll never see myself above them, no matter what. Even if I win 12 Road March, I am not as great as Kitchener. I am just a part of him. And when you really check it, we should be looking at the whole. I disappear. I looking at the whole from Kitchener to Sparrow. I call the Godhead Royal Lion.
Yeah.
The Godhead. After the Godhead, you have Kitchener and Sparrow, and you have Rosa and Francine there. And then you start to come down, And you'll have people like Stalin, and you'll have people like David, and you'll have people like Shadow, and you'll have people like, Nelson. It have a tree.
Yeah.
And you don't know what part of the tree. There's a batch that is Machel, Destra, Bunji, Fan. There's a batch.
Yeah.
And then there's a next batch you'll come down and see like Second, Preedy, this one down. And then you have the Nilers. We are all a part of one thing.
I don't know, maybe but you competing with them now. You feel that's part of the reason to see you as somebody, because I see Voice last week in Rise and Rose. You make it clear that he's taking your road match, regardless of what you want to say.
How? You can't just wake up and say, I am taking the road match.
But if you say you plan, he might have planned.
Road match is not something to take. Road match is something you receive. Road match is the people. It resonates. No, nothing wrong with having a song. Voice song is sweet.
Right.
And resonates.
That's one of the songs you refuse to?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in my phone right now. I can play it for you. And because I don't want to go into why.
Okay.
But nothing wrong with that too, because Voice needed something for the season. I already tried to help Voice with the In My Veins with Choppy, I write. I'd show them how to fix it. He come with Bam Bam. I show him how to fix that. We work hard on it.
Yeah.
But he needed something and he got something, which is why you must know that the universe will always answer your call. And his young voice, with a big show, and he needed something, so the universe answer. We can't be jealous of that. We can't be vexed that he have a song. Other artists be vexed when they get hit. They will have a hit if they didn't have a hit. But you can't be like that. You have to share. But at the same time, that is a groovy track that is good for something. Does it have the element to get you on the stage and lift you up and keep you up? No, the first thing they will try to do is make a road mix and speed it up.
Yeah.
And from the time you make a road mix and speed that up, the groove gone.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then it lost. This is a technical thing. I am not just an artist. I am a producer.
Yeah.
I am a musician. I am a scientist.
And the longevity is something too you touch on, because you went through this with Super, who was one of the greatest to ever go in any road. He was so hard to beat because of how, like, you remember there are some seasons where Super used to release almost a week before Carnival. He would try to go as late as possible.
Of course, I tried that this year too.
Yeah.
With Encore, we knew how much days we calculate what day Bunji released last year and what they released. He had 107 days. Right. We had only 45. This year we come up with less, 36. We take it to the limits, 36 days we released the song. And yet people was trying to judge my song based on 4 days it out. For experience, it was only out for 4 days. And here I was going up with my hit in front of audience who didn't know it. Yeah. Everybody else voice, Bunji, all them run up with their old songs.
Yeah, and I guess it was comparing it to
get it forwards now.
Yeah. All right, they last year song.
Yeah. They open with those songs.
Yeah.
I am the man who set the standard of you open with your big song and you close with your big song.
Yeah.
Tesha doing it. Everybody doing it now. It's a standard. But who set that standard? Who teach them that?
Yeah, I remember fetting and seeing you do that for the first time. To the point where as a fetter, I was confused the first time I see you do it. I thinking, what going on here? Because in band days, you come you used to hold that, the band go close with that song.
You forget every song in the band back in the day with David. It used to start tukum kum kitum kutu, and then the song, who you think come song to song to song to song to song to song and teach them how to go into songs and make the program. I was the first person doing that. I mean, just the point about us leaving PSA, which was a brass fest, and going to alternative concept. We wanted to shift where we wanted to be a band that plays our own music for an hour. We didn't create that. We learned that from David Rudder. David Rudder was the only one doing that. Everybody else was Taxi and Songrev was trying to play all the covers of everybody's songs. And PSA was just that. It was these bands on different stages playing all the same songs, and who played the best? I like how Taxi play
and that's what it was about.
But then we changed it and we went to the alternative concept, means a different concept. Now today you can get up and see Kes doing his program. You can see Fiona and Bunji doing their program. We introduced...
Yeah, most people know. And most bands don't really play as much covers. You don't see as much bands playing covers
what
as
are
much.
Bands? There are no bands anymore. The bands stopped when Machel come with Ecstatic 5.0. That was the last ban. I told them, you can't have a Traffic, you can't have Atlantic. You only people trying to do that right now. I see A-Team will still try. A-Team schizophrenic. 1 minute they want to be a Roy Keep and the Kaiso All Stars. 1 minute they want to be a Monk band with the backing Patrice. 1 minute they want to be a Traffic where they have Zan and whoever in the front line. But that style went away when I told the band in the year I made Ecstatic 5.0. I move it from a 13-piece band with horns and background singers to 5 musicians. Drum, bass, keyboard, guitar, and the machine man.
Right.
5. I got cussed for doing that.
Yeah, but why? What make you make that change?
Because I know we needed to take we need to have more aerodynamics as a genre of music to fly international. It was too many people on tour. It was too much people on stage. It was looking like big band. It was looking old. It was not where reggae was. It was not where hip hop was. It was not where pop music was.
Right.
So I was shaping the culture. And I got cussed out for that. I'll never forget performing Jenny's Car Park. Ecstatic 5.2. I had Dean Williams on the stilts, playing guitar on stilts. And all the bands was like, he bring them John's boy. And I know we needed musicians who could sound like they could go to church, play. And I couldn't get that from Trinidad musicians. They could have just played chicken. They wasn't playing the chords and the things. So I went to Barbados, I did interviews, I looked for people all over the world. And people was mad at me for that. Every band after that became a 5-piece. Every band after that had 2 keyboard players, a guitarist, a bass player, Ableton, and drums. It is a standard. It was set. But at the beginning, nobody didn't like it. Everybody was like, what you doing? Brassmen, you throw brassmen off. No, brassmen. I bring back brass in like a boss, but we don't have enough brassmen like Roy Cape and them. We do have the orphanage teaching people brass. to have the standard of brass that we could have, like how the Cubans have it.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we do have that, we have to accept what we have.
But you think UTT bringing back some of that now? I know you're using UTT very well.
I would say UTT trying, but UTT is underfunded. And I'm in discussions right now with them to fund. But I also think they're missing the vision, because I feel I always advocate for having a music school that is looks like QRC. Big fancy concrete, big nice iron, big clock, and it is like Berkeley.
Yeah, like
and we must have the greatest people who teach in classical music and piano and violin, but we must also have the greatest pan men who teach in pan, and the greatest calypso and soca artists and soca producers, Leston Paul, Pelham, Kenny, all the Frankie McIntosh, they should be in there. The history of all these records should be being taught. I'm tired of going to government after government saying that this needs to happen. Until that happens, they wouldn't realize that we have a resource just as valuable as oil.
Yeah.
Which is talent and music and you know.
Well, we said, like Colin Lucas was here and he was saying that Trinidad and Tobago, if you look at per capita, we have more musicians than anywhere in the world.
Of course.
And you see it's panorama.
And I had many arguments with them at UTT. I went to UTT and I know what the shortcomings are. I know we're not doing our best. I know we're not taking it as serious as it is. We're trying. It is a good attempt. But in there, you have to forget Nicki Minaj and Lady Gaga and Rihanna. All these people went to music schools, performing arts schools. Half of these really great musicians you've seen out there, who Doechii and this one and that one, they have serious training under them. We don't have training. I have Mila Caribe. I need to get her to a vocal trainer. I had a search. I don't know where to go. We should have a school for vocal training where everybody could go. I would have gone.
Right, yeah. Well, that we know, because that's another thing I always admire about your career or your life, really. You seem to be comfortable putting yourself in spaces where you're brand new to it and you're starting at this 101. After accomplishing so much, why go back into UTT, for instance, to go to school?
Because there's something to know. If you're to thy own self be true, I know I didn't know the history of my own culture. What I learned in UTT, I would not have learned anywhere else. And just the first iota of it that I tried to use in creation became a Calypso Monarch.
Right.
Look, just one little bit of it I used to talk about how soca and Calypso related and why is one. And you know, I bring up the part of the verse about they used to call me a Calypso song singer.
Right. Okay.
Chuck Kitchener
Calypso.
coined that. He's a Calypso song singer. You're not a Calypsonian. A Calypsonian must write their own Calypso. Everybody feel they must write your own songs.
Yeah, that song,
Or
so
you must
no more
freestyle.
Calypso song. You remember?
No. This thing have a space for everybody. If I didn't have the writers like full blown, and Casey went out to California, I went to California first to try to get big and fail. Had to come back home with Casey and them went out and do it to Casey and Nikolai, and they realized it wasn't really what we. Every time we go there, we look, it's not that. But we did come back with applications and knowledge of how to apply it to our own local thing.
Right.
And we were able to apply it. Songwriters, get multiple writers, get people writing and rewriting. You know, long ago when you get a song from GB, you had to take what GB give you. If you tell them change up at men vex.
Yeah.
No, we need to tear up and rip up on 5 writers on that song. And
Yeah, as a
so
team.
we're going,
As a team.
I thought you was going to ask me things that we
What was that?
tell me if I could talk about anything.
What things like what? You want to go on Bacchanal Road? You tell me, you know.
We living on the Bacchanal Road, but you go ahead.
What we missing? Tell me what we missing.
No. I mean, ultimately, you know, when I come here, I like to drop things that will change people's life.
Right.
And my life is like an open book, I say again. There were many dark moments. Even now, I just be wondering, like, why everybody don't want to roll with me. And
Junior Lee want to roll it here. Look what you tell him, man.
Junior Lee, yeah, but Junior Lee and kicks. Even Junior Lee, I just put sit down and tell him, you know, he need a team. He need a joke writing team. He could be as great as Kevin Hart. You know, 2 of them short.
Right.
But Kevin have a writing team, and he's a fella that inspired me, because I even used some of his guys to write for me when I did the roast.
Right.
You know, Kevin Sawyer. Brilliant. Tutu Platts. Where's Tutu Platts' name again? Kwame Kwame, he's a little too plus by the jail there.
Yeah.
These fellas, brilliant, boy. We have so much talent.
But even that I had to ask you about, because why you do that? Like, it was that roast. When I watch that roast and I had easy up man telling you all kind of things, you just want to be heroes, you know. I find certain people should never say certain joke or not. You comfortable in them spaces? Go and do them things.
For sure. You was going to say something.
No, I was going to ask you, because we spoke about this before you came. Your team, and this is what you just spoke about. How large is this team? Because the amount of things that you are in so many dimensions.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that it's not local alone.
Yeah.
Right? So
the most important thing, as I say, is team. Especially when I was a junior Calypso Monarch by myself, I immediately didn't like that. I wanted friends. I bring Vincent to play the guitar. Vincent bring his brother to play the quattro. Next thing you know, the brother playing the guitar, he playing the bass. Then I bring Farmer to pong some nail on a citrus growers juice tin.
Right.
Next thing he playing percussion. We bring Pablo to play drums. I wanted that group around me. I always want to work in teams, and I felt it resonated with the saying, where two or more are gathered in thy name. I understand the power of multiple human beings functioning for one purpose, if we have a shared purpose. My team, listen, I have 7 people working 23 hours a day in an apartment just doing graphics alone for on the screen. I have 9 people in a room every night working on road mixes and remixes and how to fix these songs. You look at the videos, you'll see Mevon, you'll see Jeffers, you'll see me, you'll see Kyle, you'll see Bradley, who's MUV, Madness Muff, you'll see Dominic Williams, Marcus Williams, Steve in the room, Edison in the room, 9 of us in the room. I have a team functioning from 11 a.m. till about 10 of them in a room, people cooking for them. Then I have a staff fixing contracts and paperwork, and my team is about 75 to 80 people function. I have people on a farm in Talparo rehabilitating cocoa trees to make chocolate for the chocolate factory. I have a chocolate factory, my brother and his wife running with over X amount of employees. It's multiple people. If
But you see
Machel
why
Montano
people
don't
vex
get
you still
up.
enter in competition, people saying you have enough.
Enough what? Enough money? I am spending more money than anybody else. So what am I really having? Where's the money being at? The money is going to other people's life. And that gives me life. When you take care of others, you are immediately taken care of. Immediately.
But you in this business is a common thing. You see people with that team your size or anywhere near it in terms of the way people approach.
In America,
Okay.
in London, with big teams, when you're artists. You see, that's it. So the Machel Montano book is going to be titled Between a Rock and a Star. I am in the hardest place. You ever hear between a rock and a hard place? I am between a rock and a star. I am Trinidad is the rock. And I am like a superstar, but yet I'm not. Meaning that I'm big in this little rock, but if I step on this rock and I go into the rest of the world, I am nothing. Nobody even really know me. So it's like, how do you're in between? You're too big for here, but as soon as you come out here, you're too small. So you have to keep striving. And it is a thing where you sometimes get lost in translation, because I used to have to go and live in LA to get peace. And I was in LA trying to get everybody to react to me, and nobody really taking me on. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you're living in this space where you have to create your own hype.
I got you. And as David bring up team, it's something I hear a lot of people talk about that you always say. You will tell people, what get you here wouldn't get you there. It's one of the famous things you tell people. What about the people who get you there? Like,
Yes. The people who get me there, I look back every day and smile. That is probably the greatest asset that I have. I look back at what happened to Colonel's life. I look back at what happened to Patrice Roberts. I look back at what I can look at Farmer Nappy. I can look at Zan. I look at the people, who, and when I say they got me there, these are people that I choose to help. But they also help me too. We work together. People like Dana Shigan, who runs all the things. People like Che, where Che is working today. Every time they come in with me, there's some level of influence where these people are much better off than where they were. and much more developed and really settled. You know, they have assets, they have catalog, they have a live show that is worth something. You know what I mean? Not everybody could have it. I can't give you what you don't want to get for yourself. So there are those who embraced it and did well. And you say, I was saying, you're only as successful as the people you have made successful.
Okay. So then where the ideas come from with this rhetoric that Machel to help people?
Because they don't see. They're not studied. People who saying this don't study. People who saying this, okay, so Machel didn't give Kes every single alternative concept to open. From the second or third one, he has opened. I gave it to Blue Ventures 1 year. I give it to Bunji 1 year. I give it to Kerwin Dubois 1 year. I give it to Patrice 1 year. All the people who selling out under the trees in Normandy. I was the first one. I was actually in mass camp. Get too big for mass camp, give that to somebody else, move to Normandy. And then move to upper level.
Right.
Move from there to Normandy. Then move from Normandy. And every time I gave them a show that was established, that they were able to go now and become their own concerts.
Right.
Tesha and all having it there last year. That was not there before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they benefited, but they don't know what they benefited from because they don't know the history.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about things like, okay, every time you go in a party and you have a dressing room with a couch in it, with some food or some water, Machel Montano make that happen. Every time you go in a fete and you see big screens on the side of a stage, Machel Montano make that happen in Trinidad. I fight for those things to become standard.
But people say you fight for it for yourself, so...
I did not fight fit for myself. I fought fit for everybody. When we used to have Rama, and we had the big screens and we had somebody there programming these screens, and I had programming screens, a certain big artist say, how come he have that? He said, nobody there for you. Do you have somebody making the graphics? You get somebody to make the graphics. Now everybody doing that. It was never for me. Why do you think it is for me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want me to, I did it for me, but it was available to everybody, always.
Yeah. The other rhetoric is that, so, like, even the album now, you're looking at Paris Couture. I was looking at him performing with you, and it's like a time warp. Like, you're going to see him and the energy he have, like, I go back to Come Dig It and them kind of days. It's something else.
And there is an individual out there who has proclaimed that, you know, his job is to bring me down. And I'm actually do nothing for the youths and this and that. And, oh, yeah, and see now, you working with this one, you working with this one. Listen, every collaboration on my album, except for one, is songs that people bring to me and ask me to do. And I'm saying yes. And of those yeses that I say, while I have my stuff to do, I am saying yes because, one, I like the idea. Two, I like the person's vibration. If I didn't like the vibration, I didn't like the idea, I wouldn't be there. But at the same time, it's taking me away from my work too. And I have my work too. And while I promoted my road march, I promoting your road march too. I spend any money on these videos. I put up the money on these songs. Not them, they don't have it. But I dare making it happen with them if we have a deal and we work out. But at the end of the day, that person is saying, Machel, this one, I am saying 20 no's to 1 yes. Every time you see me do a record in Paris, it had 19 other people bring a record to me to do that I couldn't do. So I'm only accepting what is coming to me. I could say no to all. So it's not that that Mila Caribbean song with Private Ryan was given to me 3 years ago. I held it back. I played for Ira Star, almost had Ira Star on it. When she was here, she loved it. We listened. And eventually I said, Mila, let's dust this out because I love this song. You know what I'm saying? And all these songs is just songs people bring to me.
Yeah.
So it's not that Machel not working with the youth. I have, if you really watch, I have been about Nava. Carnival feeling, festival feeling. When he was performing alongside Sean Paul and Shaggy in Machel Monday. He was nobody. And that song was brought to me by Kingston and I did that. So I've been doing songs with legends who bring songs. This one will bring songs. I just keep doing whatever comes to me that I feel is great.
Yeah, I guess the comparison now is Jamaican artists who come to Trinidad with 10 artists and they give them stage time and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but somebody said that I did that for years. For years, I carry Patrice, Farmer, Bunji, Zan, Umi on tour around the world when no promoter wasn't hiring them. They were getting paid off of what I get paid. How could they say Jamaicans. That is a big talk that out there, but it's not factual. It is not real. I have been carrying people on tour. I carry Fama Nappy, Rachel Fortune, all across the Caribbean. When we were touring St. Croix, St. Thomas, Grenada, St. Vincent, since 1986 and 87. Yeah. Where is this information coming from? Where is this misinformation coming from that I haven't been doing this? It's not true.
Well, sometimes it's platforms like these, or as you say, writing books or doing a documentary where people will find out, because in a funny way, sometimes the world starts when you're born. For some people, I don't know if they look back much and see where it is happening or what was there. I was lucky enough to be there for some of it.
There is a lack of reflexivity in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't look back at 1970. We don't look back at what caused the revolution. We don't look back at what the Muslims had done when they came in with the riots in Rio Claro, or Princess Tong, sorry. We don't look at what the indentured laborers are. We don't look at why people came here. We don't know nothing about who we are, why we are, how we are. So that is, to me, I don't like to blame people. I have no reason to blame government or teachers or education system. I just say responsibility. Responsibility is your ability to respond. How do we respond? What is our response state now? So I try to get people to know it in music. That's why I sing Soul of Calypso. That's why I sing Real Unity. That's why I sing Dancing in the Streets. I want them to know. But you know, the looking back thing is very critical for you to understand. You only know where you're going if you know where you're coming from, and you can recognize patterns.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And people, I don't know if they ignore it, because we're in an era now where it's easier to look back than when I come up. We used to go in a library and look for books and look for little publication. Now you could find most of these things on YouTube.
Social
remastered,
media,
clean and everything.
Social media and YouTube. And there's a funny thing about it where it doesn't really matter what people who don't know and what they say. Because at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last performance. You're not going to stop me from getting up in 2027 and do something great.
So when you win the 12, because you're saying you're winning it, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to the number one, you plan to stop?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
After 12, I will not enter the road march competition anymore.
Yeah?
I'm already there. I already didn't want to enter. But 12 was looking nice. I didn't want to be Kitchener.
Yeah.
But it's more like you understand what you have to do. There is something higher than you that speaks. And if you could listen, it will tell you that you have to do it.
Okay.
I am not about road marches. This is not the time for road march. I told them last year, this is not the time to try to bring back Soca Monarch. That is not what is needed. What is needed right now, we need to invest in the recording process, the writing process, the performing process of our talented ones. We need schools for them to go into learn music, learn sound engineering, learn the aspects of music production, video production, everything. We need to hit right where reggaeton left off and left Afrobeat, where Afrobeat's leaving off now and it just open. That is our slot. We're not going to get there focusing on trying to beat one another in our live show where everybody's shouting and screaming. These songs is no hits. We don't have music. We need to, my team knows that since 2015, we was like cooperation over competition. Like Abu was supposed to say, last year we competed. This documentary that's coming out this week, if you watch it, you'll understand that happened. Yeah. And we have been focusing on collaborating musically and finding a way. We have been finding local collaborators like Mevon and Kyle and Jeffers who could write things. Yeah. But that local team is only a ground base first because we've also been working with all Burna Boy writers. I have about 90 songs that I produced in Nigeria last year, and I'm about to finish them. And all the writers is Wizkid writers, Burna Boy writers, producers. The songs sitting on there waiting on me. Really? I busy trying to win Road March again. we vex for ourselves for that, but we know that we have to do that. Yeah, but we're not on it after this.
Win or lose?
Win or lose. And when I say win or lose, trust me, when you write great songs, one of them will end up being Road March.
Yeah, because I hear DJs say you should push. You're pushing the wrong one.
I am not pushing any wrong one. How am I not pushing the wrong one? I have to push the one that I think, when I had Release and Family.
Yeah, they say you was pushing the wrong one.
Fiancé, no, Fiancé, we only in if you're pushing the right song.
Yes.
And I decided to I rest on release. I spent $50,000 on a music video.
So wait.
All kind of oscillator and all kind of thing.
So
So
what-
the video and thing. Down my way, JJ and friends is. Ask them. And I threw with that and focus on family because I wanted the win for me, Skinny and thing. But I knew it was the song.
Or they're not in terms of the collaboration. He wouldn't do it if you're not.
Well, wouldn't do it, but they wanted to see a commitment.
I see.
And they wanted to see that you're there to be able to show up every night. And because you can't be, right now, I competed with myself. Bunji competed with himself last year
Right.
with 1,000 Rag and everybody just registered their songs. I register all my songs. Don't compromise register for road match and all. Because
Compromise sweet bad.
you don't know what people will, you don't know, and registering and just supporting Tuku and supporting his system. And somebody might want to come across the stage with that. I come second in road match multiple years. Scandalous, survivors, multiple years I come second, first and second sometimes.
Yeah, that idea that you're pushing the wrong song, and even talking to you about how long your process is, that it's hard to change midstream anyway, I
But
suppose.
everybody really feel that this is we trying to win things. What about the fact that we're trying to give people something to liberate them when they're on stage? We're trying to serve the masses. I come in behind road match, and I not come and say I'm not doing it, but I'm coming to write this song that's going to make it lift off of the ground, come out to your body, and Ash Wednesday, come back to yourself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'd made a video, I don't know if you see it. I was basically saying that the band leader would make a decision as to what going and play by the stage. Because the band leader had to know when the truck reaching the stage. And I see that from when Pan was deciding the road match.
Right.
So as you say, when bands was on the road, because you play with your band, but you do the stage thing sometimes too, where you're lying by the trucks, you climb up on the truck and you play. So it's my opinion that the band leader had to make a decision at some point in time, because the masquerade experience is mine.
Well, I will say this. If you're observant, if you're wise, and you look well, the facts are there. You have some bands used to say what song they want to cross the stage. It has some masqueraders used to push back and complain. It had some DJs would have a thing that they think, all this they call it mafia. But sometimes they feel it's me. They feel it's Chinese laundry. They feel it's a conglomerate that we meet in there. But sometimes they're doing it themselves. We are all part of an organism. But let's go back. Advantage. Is that not a big song that been road match at Mashup? Okay, Pump Your Flag is an exception. We work real hard on that one. I can't remember what we was going up against.
Okay, I guess.
But let's go now 2013, Super Blue, Fantastic Friday. Wasn't that overarching? Where was the Mafia then? Okay, 2014.
But the mafia to make it look good.
Waited on the stage. I'm not with the Ministry of Work.
Right.
That was what I had to work hard for. 2015, like a boss. Where was the Mafia then? If we really analyze the road matches, weren't they these songs that were deserving of winning? Weren't they? Can you remember crossing the stage? People was a little shaky about crossing the full extreme when it was so slow. But because it was slow. And they didn't want to chip across the stage. People naturally don't want to chip across the stage.
They want to go.
They want to fly.
Right.
It is rare for you to decide that the song has to be really, really good and have elements. Like you when you listen, stranger, find yourself a rag, put it in your pocket. Yeah, how to do it. Get in find yourself a band, get in position, and when they say rag, he's actually telling a stranger what to do. This is like when you hear that lyrics with what he's saying and how he say it, there is a magic happening there.
Yeah.
Jumbie, when you hear we ready, there is a magic happening there. When you hear Band of the Year, there's a magic happening. You can't deny. So I don't know why there's all this technicality about DJ. Yes, DJs try to determine what to play. Yes, band leaders try to determine what play. Certain bands will say, we going with this. And sometimes it's when they like the artist or they don't like the artist. Dive one. And I know people don't like me, right? In the business. But the fans like me. Like people across this country like me and never underestimate their power.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with Savannah Grass. They were so focused on this small circle. They forget Tobago and Point 14 and
Carnival, the whole country.
Where people want to go on, but people not on that thing about who is who and Machel and Kes and people not on that.
Yeah.
People on the energy of the product. That's why I say we getting caught up in the stardom thing and the choosing sides. When you say, I like this, but I don't like this. I like this, but I don't like this. I like this, but I don't like this. Your personality becomes shaped by your likes and your dislikes. All of this is creation. Everything is beautiful. What black, what white, what short, what fat, what thick. It is all creation.
It's all one thing.
You have to appreciate the beauty. But what do we need in this moment to get us here? What get us here and get us there? So the groovers might get us to the ramp. The groovers will get us to the ramp and we're singing. But when we reach on that ramp to get across to that next side, we need gas.
Yeah.
Get them. Everybody wants to be pushing back and singing and jumping up. And then that's you all done. You want to be up. You want to be up.
And we finish with the woman and run for that moment.
I mean, it's cute. It's nice to have a melody, to have a feeling. But after the chorus, sing a line in that song. Sing a next line for me. You know the chorus line.
I can't remember woman and rum.
I can't behave myself.
All right, can't behave myself.
Sing a next line for me. Somebody.
I can't behave myself again. Somebody pull it up. It ain't looking good.
No, all I'm saying is beautiful songs are beautiful songs, have beautiful moments. But,
Yeah.
And if people choose to chip across the stage,
I see you chipping across the stage with your wife singing Full Extreme. It's one of the greatest things I ever see.
Too.
Yeah,
a shame, a sad too.
You were sad. You look
shame
good.
and a sad, but what I would do? I'm only shame and sad because I ain't winning, and that is a selfish feeling.
All right, fair.
Because if everybody and I'll tell you something. I really love that Full Extreme song. I love the drums. I love the horns. I love Maxima's voice. I love the lyrics. I just love it. The only reason I wouldn't love it is because it's not mine and I ain't winning. And that is not a nice way to go. People who do like Anchor because they say it's a dog shit song. Somebody say, how could I look at Jeffers and Mevon and them work and say that when I know there is greatness in there? It might be my favorite, but I can't say it's not good work.
Yeah.
And then if I vex with them because of that, how am I going to jump to it in Carnival when everybody jumping? Everybody could be jumping and I could be vexed.
Yeah.
Because it did not my song and I will not have a good Carnival.
Oh, wait till.
Don't get caught there.
Yeah. No, you have a good Carnival.
Don't get caught there. You hear what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
Because the train is coming. Get him.
But you say this black, this white, we should like both of them.
Of course.
After St. Mary's Fete, I see the interview that because Bunji would have come out and say, hey, Carnival is not two artists. And the road march thing or the competition thing tends to bring it down to a duality. A me versus them and it have other artists in the thing.
Who is them? I find you shouldn't call me them.
Yeah.
Or call me.
It's no voice.
No, the voice wasn't out then.
I guess.
Come on, let me be real. Who we talking about there? He said another fella. All I saying is, he is saying that it's not about that. But don't you know it was about Kitchen and Sparrow right through? Don't you know it was about Rose and Francine right through? Don't you know it was about David and Tambu right through? Don't you know it's about day and night right through? Don't you know it's about left and right through? Don't you know it's about up and down right through? Tongue and south? This is the world of duality. People going to put two things against one another because it's competition. In the physical world, you could only see the front of my hand. You cannot see the back. But in the real world,
it exists.
You're seeing, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so duality does exist. People like a cockfight. People like a race. That's why they like the Olympics. That's why they like the World Cup. They want somebody to win.
But you like the race too. What's your thoughts on him coming out? You prefer if he in and all he could battle it head to head?
I mean, I want everybody to do what they want. I just not so sure what the reason was for that decision. I thought the reason was one thing, and then I hear the reason as something else. And I don't think that it is about giving other people a chance because other people is having a chance. There are other people in the race too. Brave Boy in the race, Brave Boy getting a chance.
Yeah, Teja and Patrice in the race.
Teja and Patrice in the race. Everybody in the race, but the two main players will be talked about. And they will put you up against somebody. I going up against anybody any day. Neck and neck. I almost dead backstage in the village room at time, I never tell you that.
Do not.
I tell a story. I can't tell you the whole story, but I spray something on my voice to get back my voice. And that year, 2012, I had to sing in the semi-finals. I was already Soca Monarch with advantage. But I had to go and sing in the Groovy Monarch to get in with Mr. Fett. and I had no voice. I'd come from Prestige. And then I sprayed the thing in my throat to get my throat to come back. I run everybody, all my security, everybody, to just go and pray in the back.
Right.
And it started to swell my throat till I can't breathe. And I started to suffocate in the village room.
Yeah.
You know what was happening when I suffocated? I suffocated and the whole village room is going, Aiwa, 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 Aiwa. I say, I am going to die to people chanting Aiwa. Oh my God. No, this is not how it's happening. This is not how it's happening. And he had come to me, and he come in behind Machel but I trying to win the groovy and the power.
Yeah, we're not everything.
Boy, I don't know who saved me. Medic, my same vocal specialist who passed away this year, he come and catch me and we set up our salt water and do all kind of things to get the air passage to open up. And I went up and sing Mr. Fett and qualify and win the groovy.
Right,
and went on to win the power that year too because I real plan for Iowa. I rent a stadium. I get the flag cruise. I make them put up on a piece of board. I come up in front of the judges and come through the crowd, people pelting bears, tag at me. But when I put on the suit and fly out the stadium with the rockets,
that was the end of that.
It was the end.
I was there back in Iowa, you know. I say Iowa had him. I say Iowa had him. But I mean, it's a hard
And Judge tried me, just before my judge went and passed set a diesel on the stage. They had to throw sand and thing on the stage. You forget that? People, we should really be telling these stories of what happened in real life, boy. You will be shocked to know what's be happening backstage. Like Super Blue and Ronnie McIntosh when Ronnie threw Super Blue back out the dressing room and Super Blue write Ronnie's song.
Yeah, boy.
Come on.
I end up in chaos in Soca Monarch.
I see Ronnie talking about it the other day.
Yeah, it's nice to hear them talk about that.
Yeah.
No, they go kill me for all these songs we didn't talk about, right? But again, it's so interesting that the conversation going in.
I might have to come back on the next one.
This is great. Let me book it one time.
I think so.
But before we do that, I'd ask you about your journeys to India and so on. That's something I saw. I saw you take many times where you, a matter of fact, at one point at your peak, you had a little bobo face and you kind of fade away from the carnival and do different things. And India felt like that a little bit too with your first set of journeys. What's that like for you?
I understand the going in and the going out tide. I understand the ebb and the flow. I understand the yin and the yang. I see it as myself up in the mountain, planting stuff, and all these stuff start to get ripe and they grow up nice. Okay, I pick them, I put them in the back of the van, I come down in the market, I sell, the van empty, I look around and I drive back up and I'll go in and sow seeds again. So you must go in and come out. It's a cycle, which gives everybody a chance to rise. Because while you in, somebody could be out. And while they coming in, you coming out. It's like a pit stop. You understand? In F1 races, when you go in, men have an advantage. So I understand that ebb and flow in my life. And every time I look in to find a higher height, as I told you about, life is exponential. It could only keep getting better if you believe that. But you have to understand sometimes you have to go in, because what got you there wouldn't get you there. What we need right now is not what we needed back then. It's not the same thing you're looking for. It's not the same conditions you're going up against. But you have to go in and then ask yourself, well, where am I? And what am I trying to achieve? And sometimes you realize it's not really about you. The universe is trying to achieve something through you.
Yeah.
The universe wants to expand. The universe know when we're stuck. The universe know when we need an iPhone. It know when we need the iPad. It know when we need AI. You know, it knows when we need to go beyond where we are. Because what got us here wouldn't get us there.
Right.
Where are we going? We going infinite. But we're going higher and higher and higher. So I knew going to India was me finding a way. What was attractive about India? Because I was a Catholic. I was born Catholic. And as I tell you, I was reading the Bible. I couldn't get the answers.
Right.
And then I just started to study all the religions. And I realized all the religions were basically trying to say the same thing and doing the same thing. And I was grateful for being a Catholic because it centered me and I understood what God was. But then there was more I wanted. I didn't just want to know about God. I wanted to experience it. And there's a way that you could go within yourself, that you could find the source of creation. It is sitting right here within you. If you could go inward and find it, you disappear and you become that thing that everybody have. If this was an aquarium right? And this aquarium was full with water. That's how I see life. Is this aquarium with water? The water is inside the aquarium, but it's inside this bottle. It's inside this bottle. It's inside this. This could be me. This could be David. That could be you. That could be somebody else. If your container was to break, where would the water in you go?
Yeah, just flow back into the aquarium.
If this is your body and you die, where does your soul go? Back into the aquarium. Back into the aquarium that it came from. It is a decision to become flesh. People think that you're born by your parents. I think kids choose parents. I had to choose my parents.
Yeah.
I needed that man and that woman to go and do something and me flying them because the qualities that they possess is what make me. So therefore, I'm saying, not because I look this way, I might be tall and slim, you might be tall and white, you might be short and black, you might be white and fat. I don't understand. The same thing is in you that is in everything. That is how I think of life. And when you lose this body, you go there and then you could choose to come back in the next one. And it's just that important to understand that we are all equal, but we are all one. It have three big issues in the world right now. What's the biggest issue you feel in the world right now? I interviewing you now.
All right,
Tell me,
all hell break loose.
What is the biggest concern in the world right now?
For me, it's inequality.
Okay. Well, that's for you, but I'm not asking for you. I'm asking from your observation. Economics is the number one issue. People want money. People need to live. People need to survive. Money, economics is the biggest issue. Second biggest issue, the environment. And the third biggest issue is that thing of equality, which is ethnicity. You understand? Because we have the Democrats, the Republicans, the white, the purists who want to be this, the Indians,
even
the
financial,
Africans.
I see as inequality, the economics, the fact that.
Right. If we were to put that first, wouldn't we start with the absolute truth? What is the absolute truth? Machel does say it all the time. What is the absolute truth about this room, about life? All our we is one. That is the absolute truth. All our we is one. It means we equal. Not inequality. Equal. If you start with that truth, if all our we is one, then the second thing that should come in line should be the environment. It means that we are one with our environment. The world is not something out there that providing us with oil and providing us with water. And it is part of us. We are an extension. So all of we is one. We are one with the environment. When we understand that, we'll know the biggest issue right now is to protect the environment. Clean up the seas. Stop the plastic. Clean the air. Make it where we could feed ourselves. The food nice. Fix the soil. Make the soil so we could get to eat. The farmers don't have to spend so much money on fertilizer and water. And once we fix that, wouldn't we all have jobs? Wouldn't we all, the economics will be flowing? Just change the order of what we're thinking. This is what I think about on a daily basis. And this is what I be trying to address in my music. A small community, I might be talking about those things, but I'm trying to build it in the community that I'm in. Build people who are sustainable. Build the Deltones. Have them planting. Have my farm. Have us eating chocolate that is healthy. Cocoa, Trinitario cocoa, with 3 basic ingredients. Cocoa butter, wellness, meditation, yoga. Going to India helps me find the way in. Once I find the way in it, because it teaches me silence, it teaches me about how to treat my body when it comes to food and rest and waking up and everything, and the sun and the moon. I learn about the science of being. There is a science about being. It makes you get very spiritual. What does spiritual mean? Spiritual don't mean you're reading the Bible or you're a church person or you're not. Spiritual is anything once you go beyond physical. If I sit here and I become very still, my body function goes down. Lungs, heart, liver, spleen, everything starts to fall. I become very still. If you saw a man still on the ground, what would you say?
So he died.
Dead. So you become at rest. Ultimate rest. Once that happens, the mind is be going like this. There are techniques to concentrate and breathe that is make the mind slow down. It ain't thinking about yesterday. It ain't thinking about tomorrow. Most of the time you're thinking about what happened or what going to happen. You're never thinking about what's happening right now. Because if I say no, where that moment gone?
Yes.
No, it's always fleeting. So you have to be present. Once I've learned that in India, that's what I learned through the techniques. I could now sit and become so still and so clear. I could hear what is needed. I could see I could feel it. And that is what it has done for me. I didn't only get that in India, I also go to Africa. There is a level of it I'm in Uganda, in Sadhguru Meditation School with all the children out there, helping them build studios. I went South Africa, I went, Kenya, I went Ghana. But the African version of it is a little more abstract than the Indian version of it. The Indian version, they'll teach you the technique of how to get there.
And the specifics.
But it's all one technique. And it's not only African and Indian this happening. People know it in Europe, people know certain things. But the main thing is not no big secret. It's about becoming still and going inward. And accessing something that if you could run faster than me or if you could jump higher than me, no problem. But the ability to access the inward, we all possess that equally.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And if we access it, we could be anything we want to be.
Makes sense. Now, when I saw you the first time when we meet, you tell me you just came back from India. That is a time where I see you, like I always mark on the Instagram, see how happy he is in Toko. You look at peace.
Yeah.
You and your wife was coming out. I wasn't sure it was you because I was looking at you and you threw off some weight.
I threw off all the weight. The story of this year and my weight and why I was in India will be told soon.
Okay, good.
I'm not ready to tell it. I didn't want to distract everybody, but there is something occurring.
Okay, good.
You understand what I'm saying? And it started back in party. It started the week before party. I will take you back to where that will be the second documentary.
All right, good.
And it will be made within the next year.
Yeah.
And I will talk about it here.
All right, cool.
But there was a challenge for me. I threw off all the weight. I come back. Everybody know I had knee surgery in 2016. I've been operated on bone. It's hard for me to do what I'm doing and still make the songs and make the music at the same time.
And go at that pace.
So I'm sacrificing a lot. And although I'm looking happy, trust me, behind the scenes is pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you say that. I saw you say in a car there looking tired. You had to find a way because they say when Machel have a road match, they say if you have a primary school bazaar you performing, you go and play it out there.
Yeah, I go in a primary school after this right now. And in the band room and rehearse. Because that is part of the game. You want to win. And you also have to convince people how great your song is. And every day somebody's wake up and realize, wait, no, this is not shit. This have something in it.
Well, we've seen it now. We've seen it
people
live.
apologize and people say sorry because our natural inclination is to burn it down from the time you hear it.
Yeah. I hear people dislike song and people like song, but I never see, other than you, people dislike the person who like the song. He's the only artist. If I say I like Encore, people say, it's a Machel thing, I know the Machel. It's the strangest thing.
So nobody must be a Machel fan?
Yeah, I don't understand. We must be fans. I like to be a fan of my favorite artists. Yeah. Again, I was there. I see I love my country. I see Too Young to Soca. But when you say following the footsteps of my teacher, that's meaningful. And I don't know if it mean in my childish brain at the time.
Yeah.
But it felt like something when we was in primary school and you singing that.
Listen, everybody will experience the sun. Everybody will get a time in life when they will be faced with what I living with. Intensity comes in waves and it will happen to you at some point. And if you actually want it to happen, you could get there. But sometimes if you don't want it to happen, it has happened to you.
Yeah.
You're born in a manger. You just fall bloop in the manger, oh shucks. At the act.
You had to go from there.
At the act, you know? So I'm saying that once you understand the intensity of life, nothing is given that you can handle. That's how that sinners go.
Yeah,
God will give you more than you can handle. I have had to find myself able to handle the responsibility that I have been given. And I think I have been showing up.
Guys, well, listen, it's a good place to end because I want to thank you for showing up. I understand that to choose something that you want to do at 4 or 5 years old and do it consistently for 40 years and choose to be at the highest level of it, it has to be difficult. It had to be lonely. It had to be painful, as you say. Because and that's why I asked the first question, why you remain so open. Because I feel I would hide. I had enough to hide and I could stay away. You've never shied away.
When you're a real leader, you have to show up for the people, and sometimes you have to take things with a hard knock, but smile.
Yeah.
Right now, when you come to my album launch, the Encore album, you will see DJs, you will see producers, you'll see writers, you'll see young artists, you'll see veteran artists, you'll see multiple people functioning from this great piece of work and making this great piece of work function. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, and it's something I feel listening to the album, because the feel of the album, every song feels like it's touching and pulling from different genres.
Well, who else have 4 power songs beating out there right now?
Who else have an album?
Point.
But thank you very much, sir. This was a pleasure.
Corey, it was a pleasure. I know we didn't dive down into everything, but I'm grateful for, what you're doing is important, and for doing it with such a high standard. You, David, the whole team, this is reflexivity. This is being able to look back, talk about things, and at least have some sort of ground to study something from. And I hope that I have contributed to
100%. And that's why I tell you why the Alvin Daniel thing was so important to me, because without him doing what he do, we wouldn't be here. So I appreciate it, man. Good?
Excellent.
There's nobody ever clap at the end of it. What's happening here?
Stop it.